Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land.
Right then, folks, so I just had to quit the game, as you can see. Mid everything because my girlfriend arrived. And we're continuing on now. Yeah, now it's a little bit later. So I don't know what I was doing, but I know where I am, which is a good thing. I've got a big sword, I've got a lot of Estus, I've got a... This guy here reminds me of the broadsword, or the what do they call them? The Great Sword, Red Eyes or Blue Eyes Knight on Demon Souls. Because he's got no shield, so he can be mashed down really easily. But he's incredibly dangerous if you let him attack you. And the AI on this game is a lot more devilish than on Demon Souls. Because it's harder to exploit, as we've already discovered just by playing. So, let's have a look. What have we got? As it turns out, not too much. Because this guy is a pain, but if I go up here, it's going to spawn the Pursuer, who I should really fight. But I want to... Whoa! I want to keep exploring, and this guy's going to make that really difficult. But if he'd hit these barrels, I might open up a shortcut, but he just doesn't. He misses them. Every time I've tried. He just can't blow them up. And I know you can blow them up, because I've seen it done. But for some reason... That's a guard break, that. Very powerful one, too. I want him to block so I can show you the new way to... Here we go. See that? If you get close enough, you'll riposte, and I didn't do it correctly then for some reason. That right then wasn't intended to be what it was. There we go. That is the guard break riposte. You've got to wait just a second before you do it. But I'm still really new to the timings, as you can really tell. I think you can do it on this guy. Oh, that went cool. Wow! What a bullshit, awful thing. That was the perfect setup when you think about it. It was the ultimate two-piece. Guard broke me with a firebomb and then hit me and did massive counter damage with the other thing. With the halberd. Oh, I've got the armor! So it weighs 8.6. It's not that much different to what I'm wearing. It's different in different areas, but it looks sweet. How good does that look? I actually really like that. I don't know why. In fact, I think if I had different trousers on, it might look really good with the warrior trousers or something. I'm not a big fan of the beret, but we've just got to live with it because it gives us item find, and that's really important. I've also figured out something too with the short sword, and I don't know if the long sword does it, so I'm curious to try. But let's try the long sword. The running attack is a stab. No. Is it one-handed maybe? No, it's not. The blur on that weapon looks cool. But when you're using the short sword, I keep doing that instead of equipping things. It's incredibly frustrating. So am I still quite quick? I'm still ish quick. But with this beast, that's the standard slashy thing. But two-handed, look at that, man. A running poke. Super useful for getting extra damage, extra distance, and getting away quite quickly. So this is... The short sword is not to be slept on. Like in the old game, it was super light, which made it really viable, but people didn't really use it. In this game, I really like it so far. So, yeah. But down here is Pate, because I've seen this sequence before. And if you kill him, you get a ring of thorns, and the Ring of Thorns delivers damage back to enemies of the same damage amount that would have been delivered to you. Or something along those lines. It returns damage a little bit. And it sounds awesome, but I don't want to kill him because I don't know what he does. And it's Peter Serafinowicz, I think his name is, the guy who voiced Darth Maul.
Hello there. Traveling all alone in these
This is him.
treacherous times. Well, I hope you have a very good reason. Oh, hogwash. Who am I to judge? My name is Pate. I journey hither and thither on a sort of treasure hunt, you might call it. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon travelers like yourself.
Okay.
Oh yes, you be cautious. There's treasure in there for certain.
The entrance locked from behind.
I saw the same design earlier.
It's the same
I
contraption.
was with this warrior, you see, and the rather brusque fellow tried to swipe. I still have
So-
the gent's ring. I do hope you.
This guy is obviously quite ambiguous. You don't know whether or not he's good or bad. He could be a Patches kind of character, or he could be a good person. It's not really known. That is Turtle Dude, and there's a bunch of firebombers up there. And these barrels blow up. But the problem is, it's really tricky to get them to blow them up the way you want, because you can kill him instantly. And it's really effective. But what I'm going to try and do, if it'll work, and it might not work, is I'm going to try and lure this guy into another trap. See what I mean? That should have blown up and it didn't. But the cool thing is, this is a trap here. These ballistas are all set to fire because there's a bunch of really bad dudes. And I'm about to get hit by them. So yeah. Something died, which is exactly what we wanted. And I'd seen this on a stream, guys, so I do apologise that I'm up on this area, but I knew that was going to happen. So he has a counter backstab move, which, now you've seen it. But I didn't know if he was aware of me or not, and apparently he was. So I took a big ol'... Ooh, the blue wooden shield. I think that's a really decent shield if you haven't bought one yet. So yeah, it's not quite as good as the one I'm using, but it's up there. And it's blue, so it goes with my beret. So if you wanted to play Super Fashion Souls and get stuff colour-coded, then it would definitely work. I'm just going to be a second, guys. I need to minimise the screen, because I can't see things recording. There we go. I need to make sure both Audacity and my capture device are functioning, because if they're not, we'll lose content. And the last thing I want to do is lose content. Wooden shield used from ancient times. Inferior to metal shields in terms of stability and physical damage reduction, but easy to use and weighing so little that it hardly requires any strength to bear. So it's a cool little tool. Right. So I've took a little bit of damage. I'm going to save my Estus Flask. I think I'm going to pop a life gem because I've got 1,000,000 of them. Although I'm going to refrain from using them too much. Hollow Soldier Leggings. Interesting. Is it me or on Dark Souls? Was it items first and then equipment? Because I keep wanting to press right and it's throwing me off. I don't know why. So they look kind of shit, which is most important. Yeah, some of the trousers look really padded and fat. I kind of like these because they hug the leg. I'm not looking for drain pipes, I just don't want to look like a beefy guy. What's with the detection on some of this? Oh, I've still got the menu on. My bad. I haven't played a Souls game in a while, so that kind of stuff does happen. And I think that this is a trap, this, guys. I think it's a poison trap. Yeah, it is. So if you roll away, it doesn't really make any difference. Just as long as you don't get poisoned, that's the important thing. Titanite Shard, which is good. Ooh, and a Pharos Door. So the stones that we have and the stones that you find and that are quite expensive, you can use in this place. And, oh, it does that. Do I have to hit it? Yes, I do. So in here, I believe there's a Titanite slab and a Chloranthy ring. Which, yeah, Chloranthy ring, super important piece of equipment this. I'm not really bothered about... What does that one do? Additional reduction of enemy poise. Amazing, amazing. A little bit of life. Magic resistance. We haven't fought anything magical, so we're going to replace that. And this, I think, is the slab. But I don't know what slabs are on this game. I don't know if they're still amazing or if they're just shit. Like, if I could break it down into its individual parts, like chunks and large shards, that'd probably be more useful for my character because we're still early on than a slab. Because a slab, obviously, is plus 15. Or is it? Because this is a different game. Let's have a look. Right. Titanite slab used to reinforce equipment up to plus 10. Okay. A little bit different. Titanite was discovered by an ancient layer of earth and is said to be a gift of the gods, one of the original slabs that provided the world with all forms of Titanite. Titanite slabs were created to smith the weapons of the gods, and also the legends say. So, it's give or take identical to the way it used to work. And, what button do I press to climb ladders? Am I on the wrong side of the ladder? That would make sense. There we go. Speed climb. So it's a funny thing with Dark Souls. Because it's all muscle memory for me at this point, I can't really remember what buttons do what. My hands just do them. So when they don't work immediately, I get confused. So I'm going to sprint through this because I don't want to know what to do with that. What the hell is this? Excuse me. Ooh, bad guy. Shield guy too. Can I... I want to hit my sword against the wall, but I don't want to damage the durability. There we go. Ultimate way to aggro things, if you didn't know. I really like this armour. It fits my character so well. Hang on. You're a shield guy. Guard break. Almost successful. That was not intentional. I went to do a guard break and missed. I did a riposte as well, guys, while my girlfriend was here, against the white dude I killed to get the sword I'm using. Because what I did for the time that she was here, for about half an hour before we decided to watch something, is I started a new character so that I didn't continue with this one and you didn't miss anything. And I got back up to the Fallen Giants area and I fought him again. And I did a parry on him, which involved not waiting for him to fall over to riposte, which was really cool. But the parry timing in this game is so drastically different, it's going to really throw a lot of people off. Which is why guard breaking is probably going to be more viable and more dangerous, because it's easier to do, and everybody shields. Can we go through here? No? Can we break here? No. I think it's only the broken doors that can be broken. Which sounds kind of obvious, but, you know, Dark Souls is anything but obvious. Someone's getting up, I can hear him. This gear. Oh, he's got an S-Stock. Wanting to block, so I can keep doing my thing. No, he's really aggressive. Super aggressive. And he dropped nothing. I killed the merchant as well. The one in the tower of... What's the bloody... The Cardinal Tower. She drops a covetous silver serpent ring +1. So either you can upgrade rings, or you find rings again and they scale upwards a level. I don't really know what that means, but I assume it's a better version of the ring, because that would make sense. So I'm not bothered too much about him. Him I am. He is really dangerous. He's the dangerous one. Spear guy, you can live or die by spear guys, but him, very dangerous. This guy blocks, so we can do that. And when he does that, we can then do this. Very effective. And fun. I can't wait to do it with a different weapon. So if you remember, this looks like the place where there was a little troll who threw an axe at you, and the guy tried to deflect it, and the axe got buried in his face. Halberd. So, apparently the halberd, excuse me, is really strong early on this game, because everyone's using it on every single video I've watched. Which immediately says to me, I don't want to use it, so you will never see halberd gameplay in this playthrough, because it's A, from Dark Souls, and it's B, a weapon I have no interest in using. Even if it's great. Because everyone else is just doing it to death, and I want to hopefully find some Dark Souls 2 gear. Oh! Right. I need something that hits low. What's a low hitting weapon? Can I two-hand that? This should work. This has to work. I hope there's nobody... Oh, there's a dude in that room! Why, Dark Souls? Oh, I really want it. I want to see what it drops. Oh, that's cool. I killed it. What has he got? 2 Titanite shards. So if a crystal lizard is dropping Titanite shards, it makes me think that they're probably rarer than we're used to. Which kind of sucks, because I don't know why. I think I read a loading screen that said you can imbue shards with elements. So maybe the standard shards are all you use, and you just spice them up a little bit. Which is interesting, I guess. God, I love the shade of this armour. It's such a dark blood maroon. And the skirt, like battle kilt thing. Ooh, large leather shield. A lot of people have been using this. You'll have seen this a lot. And it's really bright. But the stats are good. Look, this shield is in fact better than mine. But its stability is worse. And I'm not blocking any of those elements. So I'm going to keep the kite one. I hope there's something up here, because if it's just like a dead end, it's nice to explore, but it's also nice to feel like I'm making progress, and I've been playing for about 3 hours. So, fire arrows, something for my... Ooh, can I open this? Finally, shortcut. Nice. And if there's a shortcut there, it makes me think that I'm probably close to the boss. Whoa, what's happening to the camera? Look at the camera. I'm not even touching it. It's just having a bad day. Pine resin, divines, ferrous lockstone. Whoa, shit. I pressed triangle. There we go. Oh god. I didn't realise that was a button. Whoa, is there a dude on that lift going up? It's pretty funny. That's a boss fog. That's gotta be a boss fog. Which means that this is the last giant. And I know who this boss is. I know the majority of the bosses. I just don't know where they are. So there's not really going to be that many surprises for me personally. And if you're looking for that, this playthrough's not really going to have it. Oh, shit! Did you see that? That dude just parried me. Like a boss, too. That was really good. There's his guard break. Unbelievable. Wow. There's no parry stance, guys. They just do it. That's like the NPCs from Dark Souls. They did that. No parry stance. They just parried you. And then he comboed me. Crazily. Like, what was that combo? But if this is a boss, we're not going to go for the victory. We're going to try and study him. See what he does. It is a boss. It's the guy I've seen. So here's a question for people. What exactly does that do on the screen there? Why is it showing us with bloodshot eyes? Like the cameraman's been, tripping on acid or something in his face. Because I just don't like that effect at all, and it seems to play a lot. It's got a lot. Do you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of that place at the end of Demon's Souls where there's all the swords stuck in the sand. It reminds me of that. So, what do we lock? Whoa, he's fast. I'm not going to lock on, actually. I'm just going to watch. See what he does. It's quite a big room. So, he's really fast. I bet he's got mega reach too, yeah. Kind of wish this place was a little bit bigger. So he does one sweep when you get near him. He's going to stamp when you get under him, because it's just what these bosses do. Does he do anything at range? Anything I've got to watch out for? No? There's a sweep. I wonder if you shoot an arrow at his chest, at the part where the wound is, if it'll do anything. Or maybe his face. Maybe you can do something to his big, fat, ugly face. But so far, this looks like you can chain this guy. You can probably just hit his ankle and then carry on, and then hit his ankle and then carry on. He's pretty simple pattern. Simple does not mean easy, though, on Dark Souls. Simple can simply mean it looks simple and then you die. But I read somewhere that he falls down. And I'm curious how he falls down, so we're going to start hitting him a bit. Because this is... You know, he's not really responding to... Oh, there we go! What's he doing? He fell down! For no reason. Let's hit his foot. Shit. I don't do a lot of damage. I bet that would have if he'd have hit me. Just falls down like a drunk. He's doing it again! Which way does he go? Does he go forward? He goes forward. Oh, I missed. That's bullshit. And I'm out of stamina. So what makes him fall? That's the question. Why fall? Why now? Why is that any different to anything else? I want to know. Let's try and figure it out. He's doing it again. I bet he's got a critical point in his face. I bet you won't. You can just run around and hit his face, but it's the most dangerous part of him to hit. He looks cool, though, at least. Even if he is kind of weird and predictable. Fall, bro. Do it for me, dude. Oh, that's new. He didn't do that before. I need to get into a different space because I don't like it. It's kind of like Seath. When Seath follows you through the room, but he hugs a wall, and you can't quite tell what direction his attack is beginning in. That's what that reminded me of just then. Fall. Oh, interesting. What was that? Stomp. Get away, douche. He did something different then. He knelt down and I don't know what it was. Have you noticed that? They always seem to put you in rooms that seem a little bit too small for the size of the thing you're fighting. God of War, Chains of Olympus is... Oh, he's pulling his arm off. I've seen that before. This is a change to the pattern. He's going to use this at distance now. He does a big horizontal swipe. And he does a vertical one as well. Oh. Interesting. Oh, he jumps! He did a jump! That's cool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Camera is not our friend in this fight. Like, not the worst I've had, but definitely not helping. I don't get why he fell. I'm going to keep repeating it, guys. I do apologise. It's just it's the way I verbalise my thoughts. It just... Okay. That looked kind of dangerous-ish. But this is a pretty tutorial-y kind of boss. He's real big. If you mess with his size, you'll die. If you get greedy, you'll die. You know, it's your standard, typical Dark Souls-y boss kind of guy. There's his stomp. I bet he does 3. Yeah, they always do 3 whenever it's a stomp attack. Seems to be the Bowser rule, if anybody played classic games. So I wanted to experiment a little bit more with him, but he seemed a little shitty. So we've got the Soul of the Last Giant and a Soldier's Key. And a trophy, and yeah, we're making progress.